Frankly speaking, no one wakes up one morning and yells, "Oh my gosh, I'm losing muscle." It's not that dramatic. It starts very subtly, quietly, like a longtime friend who silently stops hanging out with you. First, carrying a pot of soup feels heavy. Then, climbing 2 stairs leaves you breathless. One day you try to open a pickle jar and call your grandchild for help. And you tell yourself, well, I'm not that young anymore. So we shrug it off. Each day passes and we just notice we need to sit down earlier, wake up with more back pain, and the elevator suddenly becomes our savior. Now, congratulations. You're not the only one experiencing this. There's actually a name for it. Age-related muscle loss. Sounds a bit serious, right? But don't worry. The best doctor for this might be sitting in your spice cabinet. It doesn't wear a stethoscope. It doesn't write prescriptions. It's yellow. A little spicy. And it's probably stained your clothes more than once. That's right. It's turmeric. The stuff you used to put in curry, chicken stew, or some dish where everyone at the table looked at each other and asked, "Who put all that yellow stuff in here?" But now, turmeric isn't just for making food brilliant. Scientists are looking at it differently, not as a spice, but as an anti-muscle loss companion. Have you ever wondered, I still eat 3 full meals, I still walk every afternoon, I even managed to change a light bulb in the bathroom last week. So why is my back getting stiffer and my calves feeling as soft as boiled noodles? The bad news is, that feeling isn't imagined. But the good news is, you haven't done anything wrong either. The truth is, after age 50, the body starts to have a kind of peculiar habit. Each year, it silently evaporates a portion of your muscle mass without warning, without any notification. It's like your bank account being charged a monthly maintenance fee, even though you don't remember agreeing to it. You're not sick, nor are you lazy. You're just experiencing muscle deductions without receiving a receipt. And by age 70, that number can reach up to 30% of the muscle mass you once had. Even if you still eat well, go to the market, garden, and try to maintain your previous exercise habits. So what's really happening? Try to imagine your body as a muscle-producing factory. When you were young, the factory ran very smoothly. Just eat enough protein, and the machinery starts right up. Gentle movement is enough for automatic maintenance. Sleep one good night, and the next day you're ready to work efficiently. But then at some point, without warning, the factory starts to slow down. The internal machinery seems older, the recovery workers, meaning the cells responsible for repairing and regenerating muscle tissue, start to leave early, working less, and most importantly, a thin layer of dust appears throughout the factory. It's not too serious, but enough to cause minor malfunctions all day long. That layer of dust, in medicine, is called underlying inflammation due to aging, or inflammaging. In a simpler way that many people feel, it's that sensation of prolonged fatigue without a clear cause. This inflammation doesn't give you a fever, doesn't cause headaches or rashes, but it silently reduces your muscles' ability to recover every time you do heavy activity, fall, or even just after waking up from a night's sleep. And so, old muscle weakens while new muscle isn't built. Every time you come home from shopping, instead of feeling refreshed, you need to lie down and rest for a few hours to recover. Tasks that used to be simple now take more energy than ever. So if you think you're weakening just because that's what happens when you get old, that's not entirely true. You're weakening not because old age is a sentence, but because inside your body there's a machine covered in dust, and unfortunately, no one has shown you how to wipe that dust clean. But the good news is, there is a way, and it doesn't necessarily involve going to the gym or taking strong medications. Just by understanding it correctly, you can start with very small things, and that factory, one day, will restart. Have you ever noticed, in almost every kitchen cabinet, there's at least one spice jar whose origins are unclear. The label might be faded, the lid a bit stuck, and every time you clean, you pick it up, tilt it, and put it back in its spot with the familiar mantra, "Leave it there, you never know when you'll use it." In many families, turmeric powder is that silent character. It doesn't overshadow salt and pepper, isn't as prominent as bouillon powder, and isn't as fancy as Western spices. It just lies there quietly, its own unique yellow color, a very distinctive smell, and a glorious past tied to a few special dishes in your memory. When you were healthier, turmeric was used for curries, braised fish, or grilled meats. Some people made turmeric honey tea whenever the weather turned cold, as a kind of homemade immunity booster. Others pulled out turmeric when their grandchildren visited, making a yellowish drink and saying, "This is good, drink it, it detoxifies." But then day after day, when there wasn't a special occasion, we'd return to the familiar trio: salt, pepper, cooking oil, and turmeric would return to its waiting position. But what you might not know, that silent, humble yellow powder, which seems like just a secondary spice, could actually be the thing helping your body fight against the silent weakening that no one even notices. It's not because it's a 1,000-year-old miracle cure. It's not because it was once used in the Himalayas or ancient Egypt. It's simply because turmeric contains a substance called curcumin, and this substance has the ability to help the body reduce underlying inflammation, retain muscle, and help you stand firm longer on your own 2 feet. Hearing that, some might sigh. Another thing advertised to fight everything. Yes, we live in an era where everything from spinach to reishi mushrooms can be anti-aging. But what makes curcumin noteworthy is that it doesn't just have rumors, it has solid evidence. A study published in 2021 in the Journal of Medicinal Food followed 50 healthy older adults who took curcumin daily for 12 weeks. They weren't asked to go to the gym or follow any special diet. They just needed to take the correct dose. After 3 months, the group taking curcumin showed grip strength increased by 7%, heavy lifting strength increased by 6%. They walked faster, and notably, inflammatory markers in their blood significantly decreased. If you think 7% doesn't seem like much, try imagining climbing stairs without needing to rest between floors, or carrying a pan without having to switch hands halfway. That's a difference that doesn't come from the gym, but from an internal reaction that is gently and consistently regulated. Another study in Europe, using curcumin combined with phospholipids, meaning a more absorbable form, also reported similar results. Users could maintain muscle mass better, recover faster, and experienced less fatigue after light activity. And this didn't come from any magical therapy, but just from something that many people already have in their homes, but don't pay attention to. The interesting thing here is, curcumin won't give you biceps like an athlete. It won't turn you into a 30-year-old in 3 weeks, but it helps you avoid sliding too quickly, helps your body have the time and conditions to repair, to retain the remaining muscle mass, and that's what's truly important as we pass the age of 60. And if you're sitting there, looking at that turmeric jar in the corner of your cabinet and wondering, "I wonder if it's still good," then congratulations, you've just taken the first step on your journey to regaining control of your health. Because the truth is, many of us search for solutions far away. Miracle supplements online, the 7-minute workout from a Japanese expert, or a superfood from Latin America whose name is harder to pronounce than your Wi-Fi password. Meanwhile, there's something that's been in your kitchen for years, a humble spice, not on TV, not self-promoting. It just sits there silently with its warm yellow color, a slightly pungent smell, and a history tied to countless dishes you've cooked for your spouse, your children, and yourself. That's turmeric. And inside that seemingly too familiar to bother with thing is a compound called curcumin, which doesn't promise to make you 20 years younger, but can help your body reduce silent inflammation, retain muscle, and help you realize, it turns out I'm not too weak to let go yet. Curcumin doesn't arrive with an alarm bell. It doesn't kick old age out the door. It just gently reminds your body every day, don't break down muscle anymore. Hold on to what we still have. And sometimes, just a gentle reminder like that can make a difference. It doesn't demand to be taken on an empty stomach, with 8 conditions and 3 warnings. It just needs you to remember it. And give it a fair chance. No big changes needed. No strange meals. Just a simple action. Open the cabinet, take out the turmeric and put it somewhere more visible. On the kitchen counter, next to the tea box. Right in the middle of your everyday life, because that's where curcumin will begin its journey. And if you're asking yourself, so how do I use it correctly? Good, because this next part won't make you study chemistry, nor will it require you to buy anything exotic. You just need to know, don't drink turmeric like hot ginger water when you have a cold, because if used incorrectly, no matter how much faith you have, curcumin will leave without a goodbye. And I promise you won't need to Google every time you make a glass of turmeric milk. Many folks hear about turmeric's benefits and rush to the kitchen, scoop out a big spoonful, mix it with hot water, and drink it. The pungent smell hits their nose, a bitter taste lingers in their mouth, and a feeling of, "I just did something super healthy," settles in their mind. But 3 weeks later, they come back with a mix of curiosity and disappointment. "I've been drinking it every day, so why don't I feel any better?" The answer is simple. Turmeric isn't wrong, but you're using it like you'd invite a skilled contractor to fix your house without handing them the key. Curcumin, the valuable active compound in turmeric, only works if you help it get inside your body smoothly and completely. The ironic part is, this isn't hard, but few people know how to do it right. Let's fix that together, right from your own kitchen. The first thing you need to know is that curcumin in turmeric is easily shown the door by your body. It doesn't dissolve in water, your liver processes it really fast, and it has a tough time getting past the absorption barrier in your gut. Imagine you're holding a valuable package, trying to deliver it to a factory, but the security guard says, "We don't accept this type of delivery," and all your effort just disappears. So, rule number 1, and probably the most important, always combine turmeric with a little healthy fat and black pepper. That's right, no need for extra meds or supplements. Just a pinch of pepper and a little cooking oil helps turmeric get its visa, so your body can welcome it much more effectively. Black pepper contains piperine, a compound that slows down your liver from kicking out curcumin, while fat helps curcumin dissolve better and cross that absorption barrier. So, if you've been drinking plain turmeric water every morning and not feeling much, don't blame yourself or the turmeric. You just haven't given it the right entry point. Let's try again and make it more fun. Start with the simplest dishes. No need to learn complicated Indian cooking or buy strange ingredients. Turmeric is super easy to work with. You can add it to mashed sweet potatoes with a tablespoon of olive oil and a little salt and pepper. You'll get a soft, flavorful, easy-to-digest dish that's healthy for your heart and muscles. Or instead of plain oatmeal, toss a small spoonful of turmeric into your oatmeal with nut milk and flax seeds. This makes for a light breakfast that helps digestion and boosts curcumin absorption thanks to the natural plant fats from the flax seeds. Another great dish for older adults is turmeric tofu stir-fry. Just cut tofu into cubes, pan-fry it with sesame oil, then drizzle a mix of turmeric, pepper, honey, and a little low-sodium soy sauce over it. The tofu will be soft, flavorful, and golden, perfect with brown rice or brown rice noodles. This dish offers plant-based protein for your muscles and tastes great without a lot of fuss. If you like cool, light meals, try a couscous salad with turmeric lemon dressing. Just mix cooked couscous with diced cucumber, cherry tomatoes, a little red onion, then make a dressing with turmeric, olive oil, lemon juice, and black pepper. Drizzle it over, mix well, and you've got a gently anti-inflammatory salad that doesn't need to make any big claims. Got a sweet tooth? No problem. Try turmeric Greek yogurt. Grab a container of plain, unsweetened yogurt, add 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of pepper, a bit of honey, a few banana slices, and some flax seeds. The oils from the seeds and fats from the yogurt help curcumin get where it needs to go. This dish is tasty and refreshing, perfect for an afternoon snack. If you like a warm drink in the evening, make a warm pear turmeric smoothie. Don't chill it like a regular smoothie. Instead, blend ripe pear with turmeric, pepper, almond milk, add a tablespoon of nut butter or coconut oil, then gently warm it up. Don't boil. This drink is easy on your stomach, helps you sleep better, and turmeric will thank you for giving it the right conditions to work. All these recipes have something in common. No need to change your lifestyle, no need to remember a ton of stuff, no need to do anything drastic. Just pick one of these dishes and add turmeric correctly to something you already eat every day. If a dish suits your taste, stick with it. If not, try another. That's the easiest way to form a habit that doesn't feel like a chore. And if you're vegetarian or vegan or lactose intolerant, don't sweat it. Turmeric can be used with plant-based oils, nut milks, tofu, and grains without needing animal products. You can still absorb curcumin effectively as long as it's accompanied by healthy fats and black pepper. For example, almond butter, flaxseed oil, olive oil. These are all great companions for turmeric. If you've ever felt bloated or had heartburn when using turmeric, start super slow. Use 1/8 teaspoon at a time every other day and always combine it with a main meal. Don't drink turmeric on an empty stomach. Don't mix it with plain water, and don't cook it so much that the whole pot turns a vibrant orange like a festival. Just take it easy. Your body needs time to get used to it. Or, if you're in a group that needs more support, meaning you've already noticed significant weakness or are dealing with joint issues or chronic inflammation, you might consider curcumin supplements. Well-formulated types like nanoforms or those combined with phospholipids can significantly boost absorption without causing digestive upset. But remember to ask your doctor if you're on blood thinners or liver medications, just to be safe. Otherwise, a dose of 500 to 1,000 milligrams per day is usually enough for older adults, and it should be taken with a meal that has some healthy fat. Remember, you don't need to use it forever. Nothing is mandatory, but when you're using it consistently, if you feel lighter or walking feels less tiring, that's a sign you're on the right track. Stop if you need to. Return when you're ready. Your body will always listen and respond in its own way. Now comes the part many people often overlook. Sticking with the habit. Because turmeric might be great, but if you only use it for a week and then totally forget about it, nothing will happen. So how do you keep it up? For younger people, habits are sometimes about schedules and discipline, but for those who've lived 6 or 7 decades, a habit sometimes turns into something I remember at the most random moment. Some people use turmeric consistently because their daughter pushes them. Some remember turmeric because they see their neighbor drinking it, and some just sprinkle it on fried chicken because they heard turmeric is good for bones as a convenient afterthought. It's okay, as long as you don't leave it sitting untouched in the back of the cabinet forever. A 74-year-old lady I know once shared, "Every time I make turmeric, I feel like I'm doing something for myself. Not a lot, but I feel like I still care about myself." And you know what? That feeling, that's the greatest strength that helps us maintain something long-term. If you find yourself constantly forgetting turmeric even though you intended to use it daily, here's a small tip. Attach turmeric to an activity you already do regularly. For example, do you already drink coffee every morning? Add turmeric to your breakfast that accompanies it. Do you have a habit of drinking warm milk before bed? Add turmeric, black pepper, and a little coconut oil, and boom, you've got turmeric milk. New habits are tough to build from scratch, but if you piggyback on old habits, the chances of sticking with it are much higher. Another approach? Let turmeric be naturally present everywhere. Place the turmeric jar next to your kettle, next to your sugar substitute, or next to your other spice jars. If it's always in sight, your hand will reach for it more easily. And once you've managed to add turmeric to 3 to 4 familiar dishes, oatmeal, soups, stir-fries, smoothies, then you won't need to try to remember anymore. Your hand will do it before your brain even thinks about it. A small tip is to prepare a jar of family turmeric mix in advance. 3 spoons of turmeric, half a spoon of black pepper, a little dried ginger, if you like. Mix well, put it in a glass jar, and place it near the stove or by your teacup. Every time you cook, just scoop out a small spoonful and add it to what you're making. No need to rethink it each time. The simpler it is, the easier it is to maintain. Another tip is to set gentle reminders on your phone. Not a blaring alarm, but just a text message that pops up at 7 a.m. or 6 p.m. Add turmeric. You're still on top of things today. Gentle, fun reminders are sometimes more effective than any strict rule. If you're worried about getting bored eating turmeric all the time, you're not alone. Everyone goes through that phase. Today you make turmeric milk. Tomorrow you mix a salad. The next day you make soup. By the second week, you start to feel like turmeric is haunting every dish. In that case, it's perfectly fine to take a break for a few days. Using turmeric isn't a binding contract. No one's forcing you to be absolutely loyal. You can take it easy, use it every other day, or swap turmeric powder for fresh grated turmeric, or even switch to capsules for a few weeks and then go back to food. As long as you come back and you use it correctly, the benefits will still come. Honestly, you don't need to feel super enthusiastic every time you use turmeric. You just need to not stop completely, because just like your body doesn't weaken overnight, it also can't get stronger after just 1 glass of turmeric. The most valuable thing about turmeric isn't its color. It's not its smell. It's not that it's research-backed or approved by the World Health Organization. It's that it gives you the chance to do something proactive for yourself every day. Not all of us can go to the gym. Not all of us can eat enough protein, calculate enough calories, but almost everyone can cook a pot of soup, add a spoonful of turmeric, make a warm cup of water with turmeric, pepper, and coconut oil. Sprinkle a little turmeric on pan-seared chicken or vegetable soup, and from these small actions, day after day, your body will feel a very clear signal. My owner is still taking care of me. So I should also try to repair, recover, and hold on to the strength I still have. You don't need to understand everything about NF-kappa B or TNF-alpha. You don't need to read medical journals or remember bioavailability dosages. You just need to remember 3 things. Turmeric works better with pepper and healthy fats. Every meal is an opportunity, and a little bit more each day is a gentle step towards being healthier. That's all you need. We've talked a lot about turmeric, maybe more than you've heard in a decade. From why your body weakens without warning, to why turmeric, which you might have thought was just for making curry yellower, can help maintain the strength in your legs, arms, and even your sense of independence. But if you ask me, what's the most important thing out of everything we just shared? The answer is very simple. You don't weaken because of age. You weaken because your body has gradually lost small things that no one notices. And curcumin and turmeric, if used correctly, can help you get some of those things back. And if after this video you open your kitchen cabinet again, pick up that turmeric jar, and think, yeah, maybe I should start using this every day again, then I believe we've done something more important than just sharing information. We've just reminded each other, age might take a few things, but it cannot take away your right to choose to live proactively unless you let it. If you found this content easy to understand, easy to follow, and easy to share, please send it to your loved ones, a friend who's feeling weaker, an aunt or uncle who's finding it harder to stand up every day, or just someone who usually sprinkles turmeric on chicken without knowing why they do it. And if you want to stick with this journey, hit subscribe. We'll see each other again in future videos, where I'll keep sharing small but practical ways to hold on to your strength, freedom, and independence in your own life. You don't need to live like a superhero. Just not getting any weaker each day is good enough.